Okay, so here's what we got going on right now. We had a protection order issued against a gentleman named Chris Sutton for harassment and stalking. Chris Sutton decided at this point to continue to harass, posting on his Facebook account on a page that he runs in this area, and extremely derogatory things that still harassing to me. His posts have caused me to actually lose one of my entertainment spots, as I am also a DJ, and the post that he's made has caused me to lose my DJ spot at one of my locations. That being said, I went ahead and I filed it with the prosecutor's office. I filed it with the police department. I apologize. The police filed it with the prosecutor's office. The police obviously saw enough merit in it to go ahead and say, yes, we believe that a violation has occurred. The prosecutor, Mr. Michael Krebs, he is the deputy prosecutor for Howard County, Indiana, obviously didn't see enough merit in it when he's calling me out, saying this, that, and the other, trying to spread a bunch of lies and everything like that. And they just threw it out like it wasn't no big deal. So we went ahead and went to ask questions and to find out what's going on. I had the body camera on me at the time, but I didn't realize that the battery was low and I didn't get that interaction. But I went to the deputy prosecuting attorney's office to speak with him. And upon going up there, the prosecutor wouldn't even come out. His secretary didn't even come out. He sent his investigator out. So we spoke to the investigator. He said that the attorney did not see an issue and that there was no violation. But yeah, it's clear harassment. And the worst part was, it was the day after he was served with the protection order. So that's going to be the fun part. But anyway, I'm going to go ahead and let y'all see the statute that they tried to code it under, because in my opinion, and well, any of y'all I'm pretty sure would agree, the statute they coded it under doesn't even meet what happened. They coded it as a family statute. Why would you code it as a family statute when we're not related? So they coded it under family and domestic violence, and it wasn't even nothing like that. So here's what the statute reads, and that way you can see yourself exactly how they coded it and what's going on. Okay, under the letter of the law that they tried to go after him for, which is 35-46-1-15.1, states that a person who knowingly or intentionally violates a protective order to prevent domestic or family violence doesn't apply. Ex parte protective order issued under IC 3426-5, or if the order involved a family or household member, doesn't apply. Workplace violence restraining order doesn't apply. No contact order in a dispositional decree issued under IC 31-34-20-1, IC 31-37-19-1, or IC 37-36. IC 31-37-5-6, or IC 31-6-4-15.4, or IC 31-6.4-15.9, or an order issued under IC 31-32-13, or IC 31-6-7-14 that orders a person to refrain from direct or indirect contact with a child in need of services or a delinquent child, doesn't apply. No contact order is issued as a condition of a pretrial release, doesn't apply. No contact order issued as a condition of probation, doesn't apply. Protective order to prevent domestic or family violence issued under IC 31-15.5, doesn't apply. Protective order to prevent domestic or family violence, doesn't apply. This is all, even 9, an order issued in another state, doesn't apply. Order that is substantially similar to an order described in subdivisions 1 through 8 that is issued by an Indian tribe, band, pueblo, or nation, doesn't apply. Organized group or community involving Alaskan Native villagers, doesn't apply. The statute doesn't apply, period, in any way, shape, or form. I just read the whole statute. Why was it put under that particular statute? That's why I got thrown out. All right, we are back at the police department. And we're going to go and see Sergeant Migrant now and see if he'll come outside and meet with me. So let me grab this paper and this. We're going to go say hi to Sergeant. Oh, I was going to see if you was going to go Sergeant Migrant if you were going in the back. Can I get Sergeant Migrant to meet me outside real quick? Right outside the actual doors. That way I can actually take this stupid thing off. In regards to violation of a protection order, I originally had a report done, but they listed it as a family member. He's not family, which is why it didn't go through. So I need to have the entire thing rewritten, but considering I've already had a miscommunication on it with an officer, I would like to have the sergeant. I don't know if he's in the building currently, but... which is the one that was written incorrectly.
I couldn't hear you.
Oh, the one that was written incorrectly is called...
Maybe I got some learning to do.
Yeah.
And if Sergeant Migrant has any questions, I could easily explain to him exactly. I'm sorry?
Your name? Who did you speak to before?
The original officer I spoke to was Officer Adams.
I couldn't hear.
The original officer I spoke to was Officer Adams, badge number 424. Which I know he's overnight shift, but at this point it needs to be a whole new report redone, so that's why.
He'll have to do it.
I'm sorry?
He will have to do it.
Why? It's a whole new reporting.
Yeah, but he did the original report.
But he did it incorrectly and it was already processed through the prosecutor's office and thrown out.
He'll have to make the changes.
Well, I'd still like to see Sergeant Migrant if I could, please, outside.
He's not working.
Sergeant Migrant's not working? Well, I called dispatch. They said he was the one that was a OIC right now. This is an old picture, but this right here is the one we're waiting on. Sergeant Tom Migrant, number 298. Question is, where is he at? That's the officer that we wrote on his car, on the post-it note for his car, for double parking at Gordon's. Officer Forstall, I've met up with him more than once. He is a really good dude. Larkin was a real good guy. Sheets is a good guy, the one I wrote the note for. Wall Smith, he's a good guy. Rodden, he's cool. Kevin Summers, he recently retired. He worked at the as a liaison for the school for a while. Officer Darlin, he's a good guy. There's his mother, I believe. I know they're related, I just can't remember how. They're also good people. They're both good people. Officer Richardson, he's retired. He's a good guy. Lyle Myers, he's a good dude. Officer Cody, she's alright. There's a Ted Migrant. That's the brother of the sergeant we're waiting on. Which I just had him up here and I can't find him already. There he is. Brothers.
Out front or out back?
Right outside these doors on the was it the east south side, south entrance. So I'll be right there. Once you give him my name, he knows who I am. I am done waiting inside. I need air. Hello. How are you doing? Well, I need a vacation. It's not happening fast enough, and it upsets me a little bit. So let me get the door for you. Here you are.
Thank you.
Yeah, I've been here for over almost 30 minutes waiting on a sergeant to show up, and I'm getting a little impatient. It's for a violation of a protective order. You would think that kind of takes a little bit of a priority.
Yeah.
Apparently not. Well, I went ahead and filed for a...
Step back because I'm not into the smoke thing.
Oh, I'll go ahead and out it for you because I know you're not. There you go. So I filed a report on the, and I originally called dispatch to have them send an officer out because I was at Alto Road McDonald's.
Right?
Officer Adams ended up calling me instead of meeting me so he could actually see what I had for a violation of a protection order. So he went ahead and took my information over the phone, stuff like that. Unfortunately, when he wrote it up, which I have the incident report right here with me, which I'll show you. When he wrote it up, because it's a get between me.
I've read it.
So between me and Chris Sutton, we're not family, obviously. He wrote it up as a family offense under the statute that is just for family. Correct, but he wrote it up as a family offense violation.
Doesn't matter.
When
All
it was
that
a
matters
harassment.
is that there was a violation of a protective order.
337
And he sent the case over to the prosecutor for review.
And the prosecutor said it didn't meet the statute.
That's the prosecutor.
But when I went ahead and reviewed the
That's
statute,
just what it's coded by. That means nothing. Did you take your order to the prosecutor's office?
the prosecutor, Mr. Krevis, wouldn't even meet me.
Well, your beef is with the prosecutor's office.
Well, when I went ahead and
He sent everything over there for him to review, and they look at all of it. It doesn't matter what he puts on the case front. That matters nothing. See what I'm saying? That matters nothing at all. They look at all the evidence, everything that's there, and if they feel like a warrant should be issued, they take care of that.
see, he
That
wouldn't
has
even
nothing
explain
to do
nothing
with
to
it.
me.
Do what?
He wouldn't even explain nothing to me. He didn't even come out and talk to me. He sent his investigator out to speak to me because his secretary, nobody would speak to me.
That's on them. I can't control what the prosecutor's office does. I know that this young officer, I read the report, he put everything down there that you said. He put all the information that he had, and he gave you the benefit of the doubt and sent you over for prosecutor review.
Right.
He sent it over without you having to go.
Right.
And if they don't file it, they're God in this county.
Right.
Right.
Well, the only reason that
We can't override them.
right. Well, the only reason they gave me was the fact that it didn't meet the statute. And the only statute that I could go by is what was in front of me on the
Violation of
report.
protective order is a violation of protective order. It doesn't matter how it's coded or whatever. It's if it violates it, they must not have thought that it was specific enough, maybe, to warrant issuing a warrant. That'd be your question for the investigators over there.
Which they
I mean,
won't
it was
even
wrote up
they
and
won't even
settled.
set me an appointment. They refused to even set me an appointment. They refused to do anything because they said it wasn't wrote up right.
And then they're passing the buck because if you have
Which is
the
why I
order-
came back here when
if
I
you
wanted to
have
speak to
the
you.
order and the officer documented what was said to you or what was said, they either issue a warrant or they don't. Maybe they don't think there's enough.
And they just want to pass the buck back to you guys.
That's it. Well, we did a report, sent it over. You got the case number.
Right.
You seen it in a report.
Yeah, I've
it
got
was
the-
sent over for prosecutor review.
Well, that's
Okay.
not on here. They won't even give me the full report
they
without
can't
speaking
I
to
can
you.
tell you beyond a shadow of a doubt. You know me and I know you.
Right.
Read the end of it. I read the end of the report. It said all this information is to be sent to the prosecutor's office for review for potential charges. I read that. I just read it before I come out here and talk to you.
Right.
So
And I mean, that's why I wanted to
they're
speak to you. As soon as they said you were the sergeant on duty, I'm like, I'm going
Yeah.
straight there.
Yeah, well, I'll be straight with you. I'll
Well,
tell
you always have been,
I mean,
Sarge.
Yeah. So
And I've always been straight with you. But I've also, as you know, I'm diligent when it comes to
Right.
if I'm being told something, I research it, I track it down. You know, I'm a former police officer for the military, so I do my investigation. If I think that a particular office is screwing up, they're trying to pass it back to you guys, I'm going to come to you guys, and I'm going to try to get to the end of it.
That's the end
So
of it. You tell them Sergeant Migrant read it and that it said it was sent over for prosecutor review, and you want to know exactly why they're not going to file charges.
I'll do that.
That's your question.
I appreciate it,
All
Sergeant.
right, have a good day.
Hey, you be safe out there, bud, all right?
Thank you.
I've known you too long to have anything happen to you. I want to see you retire.
Oh, yeah.
All right, so there we have it from the sergeant. Now, I will say this. Sergeant Migrant, I've known him literally since he was still a patrol officer, both him and his brother. Really great people, really good officers, and I've never known them to violate any of our rights. They do their job to the letter. That's why Sergeant Migrant is a supervisor, wonderful guy, wonderful police officer. He actually is, in my opinion, one of the shining stars of the Kokomo Police Department. So, I mean, I've never known him to tell me anything inaccurate, and I've dealt a lot with him in the past, on different situations, and anytime I have questions, he's usually the sergeant I look for, because he will tell me what's going on. He has no problem laying it out there, and he knows that transparency between agencies and between the agency and the people, that has to be there, and he has no problem being transparent. All right, here we are at the government center. We're going to the 4th floor. And you getting answers.
Thank you for calling the Howard County Prosecutor's Office. Our office hours are Monday through Friday, 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. Please listen closely as our options have changed. Press 2 for pretrial diversion program. Press 3 for domestic violence assistant. Press 4 for Mark Hertz assistant. Press 5 for Mark McCann's assistant. Press 6 for check deception program. Press 7 for Josh McMahon's assistant. Press...
Let's try 0, see what happens.
Thank you for calling the Howard County Prosecutor's Office. Our office hours...
We'll do this. Just any of them.
Howard County Prosecutor's Office.
Yeah, I'd like to speak to one of the prosecutors, please.
Well, I don't have any prosecutors in. Can I ask what it's in reference to?
It's in reference to a protective order violation.
We don't issue protective orders here. Those are
No,
done
no.
through the courts.
It's a violation of the protective order.
But we don't take care of those. The court that issues those does.
Right, but I've reported the violation to the police department. I had the case number, and they said it was going to be forwarded over here, and I'd like to speak to one of the prosecutors in reference to that.
Well, I don't have any prosecutors here right now, and the prosecutor that does handle the domestic cases is actually not in this office at all, so I can give you a number where you can reach him.
Well, I'm right out here in the lobby, so can you just tell me where he's located at? Is he actually located at the courthouse?
No, he has a private office.
And I know it's a former judge, it's now Attorney Crevice, correct?
Right, correct.
Okay, is there a prosecutor that's over the deputy prosecutors that I can speak to? Because I'm not necessarily satisfied with Mr. Crevice.
Well, he isn't in. That would be Mr. McCann. I can give you a number and you can call, and he sets his own appointments. I can do that if you'd like, but he is not in yet today. I don't know that he'll be in today. He's a part-time prosecutor.
Wait a minute. Part-time prosecutor? When did I elect a part-time prosecutor? You're either a prosecutor or you're not. I mean, I understand you have deputy prosecuting attorneys, and they still have their own private practices as well. But how can you not be a full-time prosecutor for Howard County? We elected you to that job. You get paid for that job. Why are you not in your office during working hours? There's something wrong there. When you have every other prosecuting attorney out there that are your deputy attorneys that are in the courtrooms and dealing with stuff, why are you not in your office to deal with the people that elected you?
But I can give you a number where you can try to contact him.
Does he have his own private office as well?
Yes, he does.
Is it here in downtown?
No, it's not. I'm not sure where it is because he just moved.
Oh, it's killing me.
I know.
Other than Mr. Crevice, is there another deputy prosecutor that handles these types of cases?
No, he's the only one.
And could you tell me where Mr. Crevice's private office is?
Nope, I do not know. He's also moved. And I just got back. I've been off since March. So I haven't even talked to them since I've been back.
Okay. Well, welcome back. Hopefully it was a voluntary vacation, not a forced one.
Well, kinda.
Oh, that sucks. I'm so sorry. All right. Well, I'm pretty sure we should be able to Google his private office and be able to go and get in touch with him there, unless he's at the courthouse. Which in that case, I'll just go courtroom to courtroom because I'm trying to figure out exactly why he chose not to pursue this one. He actually threw it out, but the preponderance of evidence I have, along with the actual protection order, because when I filed it with the police department, and I was told by the investigator here that it was thrown out because it didn't meet the requirements of the statute. So I looked it up, and I went back to the police department, and because the statute they wrote on it was a family offense, and me and the violator are not related. So I was thinking that might be the issue. They said no, it don't matter what's on that part. They still look at all of it. So they sent me back here.
Well, actually, the only person you would be able to talk to about that would be Mr. Crevice. What he decides is the way it is. And the prosecutor in charge, or the prosecutor, Mr. McCann, will, default to what Mr. Crevice says. But I can give you Mr. Crevice's phone number if you'd like to try to call his office and ask him about it.
I actually have his office number already, but I was told he was in this office, so that's why I came here.
Yeah, he's not. He's not, and he doesn't even have an office up here.
Killing me, Smalls. He's killing me. All right. Well, I appreciate that. The police department gave me bad information on that. They said he was in this office.
Yeah,
so.
Sometimes they do.
All right.
They don't know yet.
All right. Thank you.
All right.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
So with him not being in this office, now I get to go on a hunting trip and try to find him. This shall be interesting. Seek justice, serve justice, do justice. Prosecutor. Okay. So apparently now we've struck a chord with Mr. Sutton, as I got a wonderful little notice in the mail today stating that he is now wanting to contest the protection order. He has hired an attorney, which was the same one that decided to throw me out of their office because they said it was a conflict, wouldn't explain the conflict. Last time I checked, if you're, there's a conflict of some sort, you tell me what the conflict is, so that way I'm at least informed. Especially when I have, cameras going on. So, anyway, that's a different story. We're going to continue that later on. So, stand by for the next video, and we will try to get down to the bottom of this. In the meantime, between time, Constitutional Press, we're out of here.